How I Welcome Triplet at 59 Ali Baba. The 24th of September 2024. Ali Baba's Triplet Dedication 01. Ali Baba and his wife, Mary at the dedication of their triplet in Lagos. By Aid Tutu Soboale. Kindly share this story. Veteran stand-up comedian Atuniota Akpabom, popularly known as Ali Baba, has shared how his plan to have one more son with his wife, Mary at 59, unexpectedly led to the birth of triplets. Ali Baba explained that his wife had a strong desire for another son, especially after their children had traveled abroad, leaving the house feeling empty. The funny man stated this on Monday in an interview during a podcast session, Leadership Podcast, with Stephen Akintayo. He said initially, she considered adopting more children, but later decided she would prefer to have her own. Does Ben have a soft spot for Anita? Zinway's eviction, age drama between Topher and Anita 0:13, 101. This, he said, led them to pursue in vitro fertilization, intending to fertilize 2 eggs, hoping for at least one successful pregnancy. He added that things took an unexpected turn when one of the fertilized eggs split into 2, resulting in triplets instead of their original plan. Madam had always wanted to have a son. She had 2 daughters and we talked about it. So, I told her I didn't want to be having school runs, joining WizKid and attending PTA meetings. One truth is the net becomes empty when all the children have to go abroad to study and the discussion comes up again. By the way, she had said wanted to adopt 2 or 3 children to take care of them. One day, she then said instead of adopting, let's just have our own. I was like okay, but the way the economy is, and she replied, you said the economy is bad. I said yes, and she said, have you stopped paying house rent for people? I said no. She asked again, have you stopped paying school fees? And I said no. Related news. How I felt learning my wife was pregnant with triplets, Ali Baba. Pictorial, A.Y. Markoon, Say Law. The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, has stated that the construction of Nigeria's Dangote refinery in Nigeria and Dos Bocas refinery in Mexico would affect plants in the United States of America, USA, and Europe. The claim is premised on the fact that the 2 countries and other African countries were the major markets for premium motor spirit, PMS, also known as petrol refined in USA and Europe. It was gathered that the Dos Bocas refinery could process about 340,000 barrels per day, BPD, which would make Mexico self-sufficient in refined petroleum products, and the Dangote oil refinery could process 650,000 BPD, showing capacity to meet demands across Nigeria and West African markets. In its latest 2024 World Oil Outlook 2050, OPEC stated, new mega-projects are poised to alter the international downstream market. For instance, the startup of the Dangote refinery in Nigeria and the upcoming commercial start of the Dos Bocas refinery in Mexico could significantly affect the gasoline market in the Atlantic Basin. Although both regions import significant volumes of gasoline from the international market, this could change when these 2 refineries reach full operation. This in turn could negatively affect refineries in the US and especially Europe, as gasoline markets in these regions are stagnating. The report also mentioned that the downstream market and related trade dynamics are still strongly influenced by geopolitics. It added, the EU embargo on Russian crude and product exports has altered interregional oil flows, with EU refiners increasing crude oil imports from regions such as the US and Middle East. EU product imports of non-Russian origin also increased, especially from India, the US and the Middle East. Recently commissioned plants in the Middle East have also started exporting diesel to the EU, including Jazan in Saudi Arabia and Dukm in Oman. Turning to broader downstream trends. The body was discovered by a maintenance worker only last month. Representational, AFP via Getty Images. Your support helps us to tell the story. As your White House correspondent, I ask the tough questions and seek the answers that matter. Your support enables me to be in the room, pressing for transparency and accountability. Without your contributions, we wouldn't have the resources to challenge those in power. Your donation makes it possible for us to keep doing this important work, keeping you informed every step of the way to the November election. Andrew Feinberg, White House correspondent. Police in South Korea arrested a man who reportedly confessed to killing his girlfriend 16 years ago after her body was discovered in a suitcase encased in cement on his apartment balcony. The man, now in his 50s, admitted to striking her with a blunt object during a heated argument in 2008 when they were living together in an apartment in the southern city of George, police said. After her death due to the trauma to her head, he buried her body in the suitcase under bricks and cement on the balcony, where it remained undetected for years, they said. Fingerprint analysis confirmed that the body, preserved inside the suitcase, was the missing woman. An autopsy revealed she had died from blunt force trauma to the head. The body hadn't completely decomposed to bones, allowing us to identify her using fingerprints, the local police were quoted as saying by AFP. The body was only discovered in the apartment, which the landlord had been using as a storage space, last month by a maintenance worker, who was there for drilling to repair a rooftop balcony leak. At the time of the woman's disappearance, the man told the landlord they had broken up, and with no physical evidence or leads, the investigation went cold. The unidentified man continued living in the apartment for 8 more years, until he was imprisoned on drug charges in 2017. Unable to